SEC basketball returns in prime time on a Wednesday night, and number 6 Tennessee's in town here in Music City to battle the Vanderbilt Commodores. So glad you could join us alongside the shoot-up. Pat Bradley, I am Roy Philpott, and Pat, you talk about Tennessee. 8-2 in the conference, playing some pretty good basketball, led by the sophomore from Long Island, Zakai Ziegler.
Yeah, Zakai Ziegler is the engine for this Tennessee team. His dribble penetration and his ability to get out in the open floor. His speed is going to be key today for getting Tennessee quality shots.
Almost 7 times per game in conference play. He'll get the start again tonight for the 7th straight game. Where the watch tonight is brought to you by Principal Liam Robbins, the 7-footer and one of the top shot blockers in America.
Oh, the big fella's ability to protect the rim makes offenses think twice about attacking Vanderbilt in the paint. And if they do, he'll get a block or alter the shot. Vandy can get outrun.
Robbins is ready. Commodores are ready. We were told that Jordan Wright is available after missing the win against Ole Miss under concussion protocol. And we will see what Tennessee brings to the table. There's Ziegler, the offense under the spotlight after 2 maybe subpar performances, including that win against Auburn in controversial fashion Saturday and the loss a week ago against Florida. This is a rivalry, but Tennessee has won 11 straight, tied for the longest streak in the history of this series. Opening tap, controlled by the home team, wearing the white uniforms, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Tennessee in the road orange, underway, Memorial Gym. Glad you could join us in what should be an interesting evening here in the heart of SEC play, now entering the back half of the schedule. Mignon got the start, and that's his 12th start of the season for head coach Jerry Stackhouse. And Tyron Lawrence back in the lineup after missing the game at Alabama. Little stop and pop baseline, though, cleared by Kamwa.
And here's part of what Coach Barnes told us. He wanted to pick up the tempo with this Tennessee offense a little bit. You see them doing it off that missed shot.
Julian Phillips outside to Ziegler. Plenty of time to shoot for Big Orange. And that's a long one by James, no. And Robbins controls. Commodores coming off a win against Ole Miss after that tough loss to Bama in Tuscaloosa last week. Team would rather forget that performance. Coach Stackhouse told us it was one of the worst he's ever been a part of. Player, coach, assistant, G League, wherever.
And you see, it's so difficult about Tennessee's defense. They just don't get out of your way. Communicate well, get down, and stay in front of you. And if you're not a good one-on-one player, you can't break down your own defender, you're going to struggle against this Tennessee defense.
Young picks up the offensive foul, starting 5 for the Vols. Ziegler, 7th consecutive start after beginning the season in that opening rotation. Phillips stops and pops, and the freshman out of Blythewood, South Carolina, puts Tennessee on the board first.
Had a good game in their last meeting. I love him come around that tight curl. One dribble. What about the stop and pop? It's still there in the game. There's still a need for it.
It's a lost art these days.
The game hasn't changed, just like how Coach Rick Barnes told us this morning.
Saw the Twin Towers in the starting 5, QMB and Liam Robbins. Jordan Wright coming off the bench. We'll see how much he can go. Lawrence a step back. There it is, and that's a long 2, and we're tied.
If they can make that shot consistently, right? That's, again, a tough 2. You're going to have to make some of them against Tennessee in this defense.
Coming off his first career double-double as Lawrence after being benched for the Alabama game. More on that as we go through. Ziegler, a high arcing 3, no. He'll get it back. No-look dish inside, and there's the flush. Kamwa and the Tennessee fans well represented in Nashville tonight.
A lot of orange around here. Tennessee, 3rd best in the nation on offensive rebounding percentage. Vandy knows that. 5 guys got to attack, although long rebound on that 3-point shot.
Robbins had 18 in the previous matchup, January 10th. Misses here.
So this is what I love. Tennessee defensive rebound, get it and go. Triple J, Josiah Jordan James can start the break.
Kamwa off the mark. Robbins another board. So 3 minutes in, it's 4-2. Mentioned Tennessee against Auburn Saturday was 46-43. In case you missed it, Tennessee won despite scoring only 46. Robbins, and that's a three. 7-3 ball this season for the big man.
Well, that's why Liam Robbins and Quentin Malone-Brown can play together. How about a high-low with the 7-footer?
That got you excited.
I love it. Catch and shoot, no hesitation.
James, that's a mid-range. Well short. Robbins has it. Liam Robbins against Ole Miss, 19-12 and 7 rejections. Stuffing the stat sheet.
And if he's not blocking a shot, he's altering a shot.
Heat check. Yes! Robbins for 3. 2 triples for the 7-footer in the first 4 minutes for Vanderbilt. Vescovi, he answers, and that's a triple as well. An offensive explosion here.
We knew it was going to go one way or the other. It was going to be another grinded out game. Defense wins the day. I'm glad it's a 3-point shooting game. A lot more exciting for us.
That kind of fits your billing, right? That's what you're looking for. Robbins already with 6 points. A couple of rebounds. Going to work against Kamwa. Lost the handle out of bounds. Back to Tennessee. Good start for the home team, trying to pull off the upset. Coach Stack, gotta like how his team's playing early. SEC Network Men's Basketball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Coverage beyond the expected. Music City bustling on a Wednesday night. Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott. Tennessee, you know about the defense. Offense, a little bit of a work in progress, but defensively, they're putting up historic numbers this year in Knoxville.
Well, Coach Barnes has them buying into the defensive end. They get down. They don't let you get past them, number one. So they're a great one-on-one defensive team. What does that mean? It doesn't allow, now your defense doesn't have to get into help situation and rotation situation. And also, they're a better defensive rebounding team because of that, just by the ability to stay in front of your guy and not get out of the way.
We talked to Rick Barnes for probably 45 minutes this morning. I'm convinced now more than ever he is the single best storyteller
he's got some good ones
on the basketball side in the Southeastern Conference as of 2023. You tell me I'm wrong.
No, I won't tell you wrong. He's even got some good stories about Coach Stackhouse.
Yeah, they used to
when
go,
he was a player.
Yeah, do a little battle when they were in the ACC. Stack, of course, played his college hoops at North Carolina. Rick Barnes was a coach at Clemson, and they squared off a couple of meetings back in 1995, I believe. And some pretty good matchups back then. Long time ago. Out of the timeout. Key comes out firing, and that's a bucket from the mid-range, and Tennessee back in front.
Love part of Tennessee's offense. Hard cuts, screens, and curls, catch and shoot. Saw Julian Phillips do it earlier in the game. Tyreek Key does it right there.
Studi trying to feel Robbins inside, and he fed the big man. Thought he got smacked in the face. No whistle. Terry Oglesby, Doug Shouse, Tony Green, this veteran officiating crew tonight. Vescovi launching. That's a 3 back iron. Right over the back and over top of Lawrence. A foul's called on Owaka, his first.
This is the value of having a big fella inside and out. You see 3 orange jerseys there. And Liam Robbins, since he's come back from his ankle injury, has been probably one of the most physical players in the league. He looked like a prize fighter after every game. He's got cuts, bruises everywhere, but that's just part of the game, physicality.
It is a physical conference. Defense has been the name of the game. I mean, you could argue it's that way in all of college basketball this year. Alabama, perhaps that one exception. That looming matchup with Tennessee is going to be massive in the conference.
And with Liam Robbins, made 2 threes. I still want to see that right there. Open up the floor, hard cuts in the lane. As good as they're shooting it early, you got to find a way to get high percentage shots at the rim.
Magnon the basket on one end, Owaka the bucket on the other. And back and forth we go early. Jerry Stackhouse talking with the local media this week. Our conversations with him this morning. Shuta, I mean, he's talked about the fact that Vanderbilt needs a signature dunk. This certainly would qualify against a rival ranked in the top 10.
Oh, so Tennessee is not doubling necessarily, but they're digging down on the same side as Liam Robbins. Just a little dig down, not leaving the shooter wide open.
Keys wide open. 5 points quickly off the bench for number 4 in orange.
Well, Tennessee's getting out and running, and they flatten out the defense. Tyreek Key, as a shooter, what do you want to do? Sprint up the floor, get to that corner, flatten out the defense, stretch them out.
Ball starting 6 of 11 from the floor. The answer on the other side, another 3 by Lawrence.
What you put in the water in these fellas today, huh? What's going on here?
Off the steal, Jordan Wright checking in for the first time. Cleared of concussion protocols as of this morning. We'll see how much he can give the Commodores tonight.
Well, they're going to need him because he's a creative scorer. We talked about how Tennessee's defense forces you into tough twos. Great help right there.
Jump ball goes back to Tennessee.
Now, Jordan Wright's a strong kid coming at you. Vescovi had to hold his ground, did a good job at it. Goes for the steal, good recovery. He's got some space to work there, but it was Vescovi staying in front, taking that hit. Triple J comes over, gets a hand on the ball.
14-13, 7.5 minutes in almost. Here in Nashville. Two teams met back on January 10th at Thompson Bowling. Vanderbilt actually had the lead at halftime before Tennessee seized control in the second, almost right out of the gates. And the lob inside. The finish is there for Kamwa.
So Ziegler comes all the way around that down screen, cuts through to the corner. That's the movement of hard cuts, hard screens at Rick Barnes' offense.
Quick 3 by Stute, no. Well off the mark. Tyreek Key on the run.
I don't think Coach Stack likes Miles Stute to shoot it, maybe not that one. Good job getting back in transition defense, though, resetting the offense for Tennessee.
Jemai Meshack on the floor for the first time.
Ooh.
Waka back to work. He'll get it back in a fresh 20. Tobe, the jump hook, yes!
So you think you understand what his favorite move is? That little right-handed hook, maybe 1-2 dribbles with the left hand, spin up off that with the right-handed hook.
You know, there was talk last night that maybe LeBron James would go to the sky hook to break the all-time scoring record in the NBA. He didn't do it. I want to get your take on that. We talked with Coach Stack about how impressive that record was that was shattered. Tyron Lawrence from downtown. How about the Commodores? Red hot from deep. 4 of 6.
What I love about Tyron Lawrence, Coach Stack sent him a message last week. He got the message. He's been playing fantastic ever since.
Lob to Kamwa, no. Mignon lobs it on the other end, and there's Lawrence. Jumping out of the gym, numero 0. Lawrence has 10 points and has been an entirely different player since that Alabama game in which he did not see the floor. Kamwa stumps it home. And a dunk party in Music City. Fun start.
Great movement here by Vandy's offense.
Malora Brown stripped out of bounds. Back to the Vols when we come back.
Vandy getting out and running in their transition offense. Tyron Lawrence, the recipient. Perfect pass, on time, on target. Little fella getting up and finishing. And then Ziegler to Olivier Kamwa. Goes up high in the rafters. Knock that down. Tennessee up 2.
Tennessee leading Vanderbilt back in Nashville by 2. Commodores 4 of 7 from deep. Take a look at Embrace the F, brought to you by Regions tonight. And we'll start with Tennessee and the offense. You don't have to be great from three-point range to win games, given how suffocating they are defensively. But the numbers in the 2 SEC losses, just 19%. Go back to the loss at Florida and at home to Kentucky. When you see that number, what does that mean? Shot selection, ball movement, late in the shot clock possessions. What are you thinking?
When watching their games, it has been, but the entire team has not shot well in those 2 losses. Normally you'll have one guy or 2 guys not shoot well, but somebody else can pick you up. It's been on the same night. Tennessee hadn't make any shots by any of their guys. And then when they're rolling, seems like everybody is too. But they have good shots, yeah, just like anybody else. Sometimes they take a quick 3. I know Coach Barnes addressed that early in the year when they started out the season shooting 43s in a game. Coach said, fellas, I know you can shoot it, but let's not settle for that 3-point shot. That also goes into it.
19% of the 2 losses from deep. 2 for 21 against Auburn this past weekend, but yet 1. You think about that for a minute, and there's a lot to chew on. Key off the mark, and rebounded by Plavcic, who just checked in.
And just one thing we've seen start last night, offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. That is something Vanderbilt's going to have to keep up with because Tennessee, 3rd best in the country at doing that.
Vescovi now with 6, lead up to 5. Paul Lewis on the floor for the first time, and a blocking foul inside on the attempted screen.
Simple, just come off that ball screen. Quentin Maloro-Brown's got to understand Santiago Vescovi. First, he wants to pull up, shoot that 3. You got to defend the 3-point line. Just run him off the line. Make him go to the secondary shot, whether it's a pull-up or run him into your help defense.
Foul was called on Quentin Maloro-Brown, his first. He'll get a breather. Commodores suddenly in a bit of a danger zone. Key, fadeaway back iron. Who wants it, right?
Great
Finally
fight.
rips away the rebound, but he stepped out of bounds.
That's a good fight by Vanderbilt. Jordan Wright, big, strong kid. He's somebody that has got to get down there with Liam Robbins. All 5 guys from Vandy's going to have to. But again, you see Tyreek Key comes off that screen on the block. And he takes it right at the elbow, free throw line area where he can just turn. Nice little fadeaway.
High ball screen for Vescovi. Free throw line extended. Tried to bank that one in perhaps, and he'll track it down. No over and back after the tip.
Yeah, I think they got rid of that call a while ago.
And a forearm shimmy. Robbins the guilty party. He'll pick up his first.
Some big fellas in there.
I mean, between Plavcic and Robbins, a lot happening, right?
Big human beings right there. You're going to see a lot of that hand-to-hand combat.
Urosa, yeah, that was him. That was him.
Plavcic has had some good offensive games on the block this year. And Coach Barnes has talked about him continuing to improve to be a legit scorer. Throw him in there, make something happen on that block.
Tyreek Key got a breather, 5 points off the bench quickly in some critical moments. James launching, that's a 3 and an air ball. Back to Vanderbilt.
So you talked about what type of 3-point shots there. That catch, take your time, maybe one dribble, take that to the baseline with your right hand, or take it around again. Tennessee's had a lot of success with that curl, coming off that screen curl, either to the middle.
Plavcic just picked up his first foul. Tennessee still listed as a 2 seed, according to Joe Lunardi, after the 1-1 week from the past week.
That's a lot of battling going on with Plavcic and Liam Robbins right now. Not allowing Liam to get any position on that block, forcing him out there, catching it out near the 3-point line.
It's got to go. Step back 3. Fell down and made it. Liam Robbins with 3 threes in the first half. He had 6 all season. And there's a lob. Kamwa hit the deck. And the whistle was blown. Robbins interfered with it.
We've got another penetration to the middle of the floor coming off that high ball screen. Let's see if he gets it. That's a high collision. I'm going to say that was a foul.
That's a foul.
I'm going to say that's a foul. That's all right, though. Listen, His job is to contest everything at the rim, right? If you're not getting it, you're going to get some fouls called on you. He plays physical as he does and challenge everything at the rim. But believe me, that's done wonders for Vandy and their defense, even if you're playing with him, to know that you've got a guy back there that can protect the rim.
Laura Brown poked it away, forcing the turnover. Robbins to the bench. That's great and all that you can defend and protect the rim, but when you got 2 fouls not on the floor, it's a big deal.
Well, Tennessee attacks the paint, and that's what they're known to do. They got 12 points in the paint right now. They've got the personnel to do it.
3-pointer off by Studi.
That's what I like to see.
Mentioned Tennessee currently still listed as a 2 seed and number 2 in the net rankings since all the way back on January 3rd. Despite the loss against Florida, come back against Auburn. Studi, the rebound. Plavcic over the back.
I tell you, Vanderbilt, tough, fight you every way, won't give you an inch. They continue to a defensive glass. Will have a great chance in this game.
Two-point game back in Nashville, 7:07 remaining in a quick-moving first half. Shooter and Philpott back with you here at Memorial Gym. And how about the 2 head coaches tonight? Both set to be inducted into the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. Rick Barnes, of course, from Hickory, North Carolina originally. And Coach Stack played his college hoops at UNC and also was born and raised in Kinston, NC. But nice touch with tonight's game that they're both here in the same building competing.
North Carolina legends, Kinston, North Carolina, a lot of great athletes.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram, New Orleans Pelican, played there from there. Of course, Hickory, North Carolina is the home of Rick Barnes, the legend.
Coaching stops at Providence, Clemson, Texas, and now year number 8 in Knoxville. This team arguably one of his best. There's a 3. That was Colin Smith. Vanderbilt back in front. And the Doors now 6 of 10 from deep to start.
That's what they were going to have to do, and make some threes. They make about 8 per game. Again, in the lane.
Ziegler, the floater.
You got to keep Ziegler out of that lane. They've been able to do a good job. Tennessee has of controlling that paint.
2 ties, 6 lead changes so far. Tennessee's won 11 straight in this series. As a top 10 team, surprisingly, the Vols have struggled here in this building going back to 1968. Lewis was fouled, and the freshman set to shoot a couple of free throws. How about this? 1-4. Big Orange ranked in the top 10 in this house. Going back to 68 when they were 7th in the country. Now, the last time that occurred, they won in OT back in 2019.
This has always been a battle, the battle for Tennessee. And you know the emotions are always going to be high. We, before the game, saw a lot of Tennessee fans pouring in here. You knew that was going to happen. Vanderbilt, you could see though when from the tip, these Vanderbilt players understand how important and emotional this game is. In-state rivalry, you're always going to get the best of everybody.
Foul was called on Ziegler. 1 of 2 at the stripe for Lewis. 6 minutes to go in the first. Trying to spot Kamwa, and QMB read it perfectly.
QMB knew it was coming. That ran that play a few times, stepped in. Come into my web, said the spider to the fly. Larry Bird was the best at that.
He was the best at that in big moments, too, like in the playoffs.
No doubt, he's the best at everything. QMB.
Laura Brown, no. The putback, yes. Miles Studi was hiding out right under the rim in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, he hadn't really been able to get much going. Tennessee defense has been a good job getting a hand-up challenge in his three-point shot.
Phillips off the mark. Tapped out and back to Vandy.
Good job by QMB. Another tight curl right there. QMB says, okay, I understand Vescovi is not looking to go up with this, but that's good help by Lewis. Jordan Wright does a good job, even though he did get picked off, did a good job, didn't give up on the play. So QMB said, all right, I'm not going to overhelp. And that's what happens a lot. Guys overhelp when they don't need to. QMB didn't do it there, just stepped into the passing lane.
Entertaining first half, 5 minutes to go. Mignon.
He's quick. He's got the headband in honor of Ron Slake. Can I even say that? He's a Tennessee guy.
Be careful.
No.
Robbins remains on the bench. Boy, Smith wanted to shoot it. Couldn't catch the pass. Forces one up and the bailout whistle.
With 1 second on the shot clock.
Second on Ziegler. Vanderbilt back to the stripe. Tennessee has yet to shoot a free throw tonight. And Smith 63% at the line. Forget about the upcoming schedule this weekend. Number 6 Tennessee, one of our highlighted matchups. Another quadruple header on Saturday. They'll host Kobe Brown and Mizzou at Thompson Bowling Arena. Coverage of that one starts at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Where every weekend so big in the conference this time of year, right?
Kobe Brown is right now. You put Brandon Miller, Alabama, at the top, but Kobe Brown is making a case for certainly first team, but SEC Player of the Year, at least in the conversation.
How about some Boots Radford love?
Boots Radford, no doubt. Zakai Ziegler, I would put him in the conversation, at least because of the success of his team. He had a tough game over the weekend, but he's been very consistent. Great job by Vanderbilt here. Again, staying in front of that ball.
Vescovi, no. Mignon the rebound. May have been the best defensive possession we've seen from Vanderbilt this year.
I love the trail three from a guard like that. Get a little penetration, be able to get in transition. You're a shooter. How about trail three? Either two things when you're a shooter. Here, QMB does another good job of just getting his hand up there. Didn't have to block it, just altered it enough. And, you know, he didn't overhelp there because if he does, Vescovi tosses that in the corner for Kamau for an open shot.
Lawrence, short. Studi, who wants it? Ball's grabbing, that was Phillips.
Got the sense Studi felt like that wasn't going to touch any rim. He was right there on it. It's like a pass.
Now the first half of this game feeling a lot like the first half of the game in Knoxville. Key hit the deck, and Mignon may have forced him down. He did. Whistled for his second foul. Timeout on the floor. 3:39 to go. Our first half in Nashville. Patrick Young. That's a great question because there's many to choose from.
I like to call him the basketball superhero, Glue Man.
First things first,
How
our
about
in-game
Josiah Jordan-James
update brought to you by Carvana. 7 lead changes, 3 ties. Robbins, those 9 points all coming from deep. And right now, Vanderbilt's made 6 threes. Tennessee's only given up 8 on 2 occasions for an entire game this year.
Well,
more to come on that.
And the way they've come, Lawrence catch and shoot. His three-point shots have come catch, shoot, no hesitation. A little slow on Tennessee getting out to him catching. And the other 3 have come from Liam Robbins. The first 2, they allowed him catch and shoot. The third one was a Hail Mary 3. Is that how you refer to a 3, a Hail Mary?
How about Noah Clowney in terms of glue guy? Can I sell you on that?
Basketball superhero, Glue Man.
Jonas Adu coming off the bench, numeral 0 with his first points.
You know what I'd love to see? No hesitation on the jump shot. I can't emphasize that enough, how important it is. Just catch it in rhythm, confidence when you do catch it, balance.
Anthony Black is a glue guy.
Oh, there's no question.
19 points last night in the win at Rupp. He was impressive. You may hear more about him coming up in Wednesday Night Heaters later.
Woo! Tease! So Vandy's offense.
Lawrence
they
high
do
off the
such
glass.
a good job, man. So they do a good job of moving the defense side to side, being patient, and then attacking the open spot, the open gap, whether it's a drive or a quick swing for an open shot.
Owaka double teams. Somehow kept possession. Key left open for a minute, and he makes him pay. Tyreek Key from downtown.
Yeah, Tyron Lawrence has to recognize Tyreek Key wants to catch and shoot that. You got to get out and contest that, make him put it on the floor. Throw him off his spot.
Number 6 Tennessee being tested on the road. Offense has been better.
Good swing.
Stute for 3. They do claims the board. Here comes Key. Ahead to Phillips. And he was clipped by Lawrence. Free throws coming.
But you see there, even though Vanderbilt, Miles Stute misses that shot in the corner, all 5 guys knew if we don't get that pick and roll, quick pass by QMB, another swing to the corner, and now you've got Tennessee's defense scrambling in rotation, and you got it to your best three-point shooter, just didn't make it.
Phillips 81% at the line in a tie ball game. Don't forget our Thursday night women's basketball doubleheader starts in Gainesville. KK Deans and Florida hosting Jessica Carter and Mississippi State. That's up first at 7 Eastern. Then Arkansas and Vanderbilt right here in Nashville. Head your way next at 9 o'clock Eastern. And another great night of hoops right here on the SEC Network, also on the app.
So the way the benches are, it's a very different feel. Even shooting free throws in this gym. I went and looked back. We didn't win a game in this gym.
You were over. Really?
Against the likes of Drew Maddoxon, Billy DeSpaltro, Dan Lange, Pax Whitehead.
So you struggled with the sightlines here, perhaps.
Kind of threw you off a little bit, I'll be honest.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? I mean, I shot well. It's not,
you always shot
not well enough.
Lawrence kept it alive. Thomas. Waka has been productive off the bench for Rick Barnes.
So even though Tennessee doesn't get anything right off transition, I like the speed. They're spurting up the floor, getting in their lanes. If something's there, take advantage of it.
Phillips against Jordan Wright. Key. Launching just inside the three-point arc, and that's a long 2.
That's when you feel it. He's got a little smile on his face.
He's got 10 points in the first half off the bench.
Well, I mean, how about the ball fake? Where did the ball fake go? Just show the ball. Show the basketball. He's shooting it so well, that defender's going to bite.
Thomas baseline was shoved.
This is good patience by Tennessee's offense. And Tyreek Key feels it. Woo! Good pump fake there. Did not stay behind the three-point line, though. See what you want to do? A little pump fake, sidestep. He sort of did a little, it's a long 2. It's about the longest two-point shot you can shoot.
Did that drive Nolan Richardson crazy back in the day when you guys did that?
He did, but you have to have sort of that peripheral vision. I know peripheral side to side, whatever down is.
Robbins back on the floor. Oh, and he jumped it. He dunked it. Liam Robbins.
Talk about down. Wow.
Playing like a man possessed tonight. Couple of threes. Vescovy. Lawrence clears. Oh, Robbins between 2 defenders that time. I thought he was running out of real estate under the rim.
Well, my man has made 3 threes. So you got to respect. So you got to stay out on him. Turn straight to the hole. Wow.
I mean, that's a poster for Big 21. He put 2 on there. That's SportsCenter Top 10 tomorrow, buddy.
There's no doubt. I'll tell you this, though. No shame in getting posterized, because if you've never been dunked on, you just hadn't played against a good player. You hadn't played against anybody good. I'm telling you, if you're out there saying nobody ever dunked on me, well, you just hadn't played against enough good players, because everybody's going to get dunked on at some point.
Tennessee shooting 50% from the floor. Look, an entirely different first half offensively compared to what we saw in Knoxville against Auburn on Saturday, right?
Yeah, this one has been early on, the three-point shot for both teams. Tennessee was able to get in the lane, and really all their points have, although they made 4 threes, they've really been doing a lot of damage in the paint. And that's part of what Rick Barnes, their offense, wants to do, but it's been really Vanderbilt's We know they can make threes, but against Tennessee, it's never easy to get any shot off, and they've been able to find a way to get off and make 6 threes.
Shot clock is off. Vanderbilt with a chance to tie or grab the lead right before halftime. Commodores had the lead in the first matchup after 20 minutes. Lob to Lawrence, swatted down. And the first half ends on a desperation heave that nearly went. 34-32. Liam Robbins with 11 points and 3 threes. Lawrence with 12. Number 6 with a 2-point advantage. Halftime report coming up right now. Say hello to our good friends Patrick Young, Peter Burns. Gentlemen, games on a Wednesday night in the SEC, and number 6 Tennessee with a 2-point advantage 20 minutes into game number 1. Pat Bradley shooter. I am Roy Philpott. Glad you could join us. And interesting first half. We had some 3-pointers made, and both offenses looked pretty salty, right?
Yeah, they certainly did. And Tyreek Key has been locked in this game, especially shooting the ball. You see the tight curl right there, catch and shoot, no hesitation, keeping the game simple. Good swing pass. Again, I love seeing the catch and shoot. And right there, again, finding the open man for Tennessee. A nice little pump fake. Frees himself enough to get the shot up. And Liam Robbins has been the man for Vanderbilt from the 3-point line, and it's been deep. And also, he's been able to make tough ones and put the ball on the floor and finish above the rim right there. Liam Robbins has been a lot to handle today for the Tennessee defense.
Look at our first half stats. We mentioned the shooting. Vanderbilt currently on track for the highest field goal percentage against the Vols this season. Keep in mind, in many defensive metrics, Tennessee is the best team in America this season when it comes to simply defending the rim, keeping teams out of rhythm on offense. Kim Palm tells us that. And historically, in terms of points per game, field goal percentage, Tennessee's on track to do things we haven't seen done in the last 25 years. Vanderbilt has it to start our second half. Memorial Gym rocking. Mignon gets it back from Robbins. Ezra Mignon.
Vanderbilt has done a good job of taking their time on each possession, challenging the Tennessee defense to play the entire shot clock right there at the end of it. And I mean, you got to play defense for a full 30 seconds. Vandy's done a good job of working that clock, getting up a good one at the end of it.
Oh, Phillips looked like he may have taken a shot, lost control and traveled. Rick Barnes wanted a foul. He will not get the whistle. Phillips may have caught one right in the chops.
Wow, it's a physical game. It's a contact sport for those who don't know. There's a lot of elbows, a lot of knees that are flying when you're coming through the lane. I used to come out of games with scratches on my back, my shoulders, trying to come off a screen. Somebody gives you a hip, a shoulder.
Some of the defensive numbers this year for Tennessee. A different story so far tonight. Tied at 34, 1 minute into our second half. Robbins with 2 fouls, make it 3. Kamwa hit the deck.
No, that was a shoulder right there. Yeah, typically I look at offensive fouls, and if the player is out of control. It looked like did Kamwa lean in and try to go for the steal.
When that elbow came up late, Kamwa had already fallen backwards.
But you see, Kamwa leaned in on that. But yeah, that right chicken wing there by Liam Robbins was the reason for that call.
If you're Jerry Stackhouse, how long do you leave Robbins on the floor? Kamwa makes him pay. Robbins backed off late, but he's got 3 fouls.
I keep him in the rest of the game.
Okay.
Unless it gets tired.
Mignon, a strong drive and a chance for 3.
He is quick and explosive. Vandy has done a good job of getting stuff early in the shot clock if they can. Mignon, nice action there, just coming off, just simple understanding.
Ziegler may have tapped him on the shoulder. That's his 3rd foul too, by the way. He'll have a seat on the bench. 5 in orange going off your screen. Mignon trying to get Vanderbilt the lead back. And he does.
Tennessee has that luxury where they can play Vescovi at the point. Also, Tyreek Key is a good ball handler, high IQ guy. Liam Robbins on the other side, though. It is tough to replace that big fella.
How big of a deal is it to see Key provide this kind of spark, given Tennessee's struggles recently?
Well, that's what he came to do in Tennessee.
On cue, but short. Robbins tracks it down.
He didn't come do that, but he came to put up some numbers.
How about the spin and the finish? Commodores by 3. Here's Phillips, reverse. Nicely done.
Right now, Magnon has a speed advantage on the floor against Key and Vescovi. Without Ziegler in there, he knows that, and he's attacking.
Lawrence with 14 points tonight. He'll back it out. Set up the offense. Lawrence. Contact, no whistle. Magnon. Here comes Vescovi. Santiago held in check for the most part. So far, just 6 points. Kamwa. Last touch by Vanderbilt.
Magnon is a hard driving guard. He set that up. Set it up by going to that baseline and knew that spin move was going to be there because there wouldn't help at the middle of the floor defensively for Tennessee. Woo, that little speed dribble right there just kicked it into another gear.
Tony Green reversed that last call during that replay. Vanderbilt gets it back.
Lawrence and Magnon are hard drivers. Tennessee at halftime, no doubt, talked about what type of adjustments can we do to keep those guys out of the lane and not allow them to get a full head of steam.
Magnon the crossover. Silky smooth, but that time turned it over.
Yeah, you just can't make that pass over the top of Josiah Jordan-James. It's too long, too good anticipating that.
Walker back on the floor. 11 in orange for Tennessee. James against Stute. And the easy flush. Tobe Awaka.
That left side was open. Great understanding by Josiah Jordan-James. Hard left-handed dribble. Had the option. Am I going to go high if there's no help? Off the glass. There was. Dropped it off. Awaka's played strong today. Just staying around the rim for Awaka. Right there, you see Liam Robbins has to come over to help. On time, on target. Good finish by Awaka.
He's got 6 points, twice his season average. Magnon outside to Stute. Tracked down by James.
Tennessee got away with one there because that's the last guy you want to leave open.
Commodores with 6 threes in the first half, none so far in the second, 4 minutes in. Awaka against Robbins, trying to get him another foul. A little back to the basket game, and the jump hook not this time. Key fell down, no whistle. The putback is there for Phillips. Now Tennessee by 3.
And if there's something Tennessee can do better at in the second half is get on that glass. Get on offensive glass. They're a 39% offensive rebounding percentage team, which is best in the SEC. Credit Vandy for fighting that first half, man. Every shot that went up, you had 5 guys fighting for it.
Falls in the midst of a 6-0 run. James. Saved brilliantly by Phillips. He'll double check the shot clock. Reset to 30, then they switched it to 20. The under 16 media timeout, and Rick Barnes with an earful for Terry Oglesby. For the moment, Vols lead it by 3. Number 6 in the country on the road. Check out the Mayhem Moment brought to you by Allstate. Welcome to the Dunk Party 2023. We've had some great ones tonight.
Magnon quick getting it out to his backcourt. Mate right there on time, on target like Tom Brady. Oh, yeah, he made an appearance. Again, certainly that curl right there has been working for Tennessee in the first half. And he just threw it to the corner of the backboard.
Points in the paint. Well, we've seen a bunch outside of the handful of threes by Vanderbilt. And right now, Big Orange on top. Commodores by 8 in that department. Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott, 5 minutes in to our second half. We certainly are glad you joined us in what has been a fun start, an athletic start, an offensive start, unlike some of the games we saw this weekend.
Yeah, you had hot shooting by both teams, led by Tyreek Key and Liam Robbins from the three-point line for Vanderbilt. Then I think Tennessee settled back into what they want to do. They can shoot the three, but I think they prefer to play around the rim. And Vanderbilt in this half, although they were trying to take it to the end of the shot clock in the first half, they've realized we can get out in transition. Magnon a lot faster than some of the Tennessee guards right now on the floor.
Keon Thomas draws the double team. They too will feed the posts. Jump hook is there. Owaka, he's got 8.
And he has been efficient down there. Big, strong hands. Doesn't hesitate, goes that right-handed hook every time.
8-0 run for Tennessee. Lead at 5. Here's Jordan Wright. The pump fake and the finish, and a big bucket for number 4. First points of the night.
First one, you knew at some point Coach Stackhouse is going to get him involved. At 6'5", he can do a lot with the ball. Gets in the lane, shoots nice little soft touch. Nice little stop and pop in the mid-range. Roy, it didn't go anywhere.
Key's going somewhere. About 12 points coming off the bench.
Tyreek Key is locked in.
Indiana State transfer. One scored 34 in a singular contest. Jordan Wright. And a little deep sauce. Back-to-back buckets.
When your coach calls a play for you, it gives you confidence to get rolling. He did it the previous possession, said, let's go back to him. We're going to need Jordan Wright scoring some points in the second half.
Elbow J there for James.
They're so good at the elbows. Tennessee, they get it to the elbow on curls, on screens, and all their guys can shoot it from there.
Wright scored the last 5. Back to the basket, picked up his dribble. Commodores with 10 to shoot. Thomas open for a minute. That's a 3. 1-point game.
Oh, there's a lot of movement. Good job by Vanderbilt's offense. Continue to move the ball, come off screens, attack that three-point line.
Ball's at 8-2 in the SEC. Vanderbilt at 4-6. Log jam in that number 2 to number 5 spot in the conference after last night's games. Vescovy, no. And saved to Wright. Jordan Wright will push tempo. Trey Thomas. Tyreek Key ahead to Vescovy.
Waka took a tumble down there under the basket. To one of the cameramen. We're doing a fine job tonight.
Outstanding job. Under the rim scrum. Saved by Lawrence. Jordan Wright with the bounce. Vanderbilt back in front. James, the lob's picked off by Lawrence. How big of a difference maker has Jordan Wright been the last 2 minutes against James? Magnon, that's not really a shot from the corner and a wise decision.
Great decision. If you can't get something early, which 3 possessions, they've been able to push the ball. Vandy get some layups.
Magnon 1 of 18 from deep. Lawrence spins it in on the reverse. He's got 16. Vanderbilt by 3. Tennessee's 8-0 run responded to by Vanderbilt with a 7-0 burst. Key off the screen. Floater is there.
And just patient and content with that simple screen right to the open area there above the free throw line. High percentage shot as well.
Robbins remains on the bench. 1 point game. Thomas with a mid-range. A2 clears.
Tennessee hadn't had as many opportunities to get out and run this half like they did the first half.
James. Big night of basketball in the SEC, the first of 3 games.
Coach Stack telling them to let's run our offense here, which they did a lot in that first half. Make that Tennessee defense play for a full shot clock. Make a move side to side.
Quinn Malore-Brown. Big man move, no. And the putback, he was fouled. Jerry Stackhouse, the round of applause. Big couple of days in the SEC. When we come back, Shoot and I tell you about who's on the hot streak. SEC Heaters after this.
Loves contact, plays through it, can finish at the rim.
He's not playing like a first-year guy in Fayetteville for Coach Muss.
Arkansas has an edge. If there's a theme with their team this year, they play with an edge. They got a toughness about them, a chip on their shoulder.
Are you going to give us a scoop on Nick Smith Jr. and when all that could be changing? You're smiling. He's smiling.
Hey, let me tell you, the way that kid can score, they could use him. Now, anybody could use him. You wonder, right? We're creeping towards mid-February.
It's about that time?
It's about the time, yeah.
Quinn Malore-Brown, not a great free throw shooter. He's got one more.
He's played well. Is Liam Robbins in foul trouble, and with him stepping in, there's big Liam right there.
1 of 2. Commodores lead it by 2. Trailed at halftime here at home.
There's pressure here by Vandy. I like it.
Zakai Ziegler back on the floor with 3 fouls. He's been the leading scorer. They're switching up to a zone.
It's a little zone here. Just throw that rhythm off of Tennessee. Force that 3.
Ziegler from downtown. Balls grab the advantage. I mentioned the offense has been better really for both sides tonight. Tennessee shooting 52%. Now 5 of 15 from behind the three-point arc. Jordan Wright fade away. Quinn Malore-Brown no, and Kamwa has it. Pass to Phillips, out of bounds. Phillips was running the other way. Kamwa with the outlet went right off of his elbow.
Yeah, he wanted to have that one back as soon as he let it go. Tennessee did a good job in transition early. First half looked like they wanted to get back to that, get out and run. Kamwa said, let's go, advance pass.
Mignon against Ziegler, how great of a matchup is this? Speed on speed.
There's no doubt, yeah. Mignon and Lawrence have been playing well, and got Jordan Wright chipping in the second half.
Smith from deep, Robbins back on the floor, blocked by A2, Ziegler claims it. Big on big. Kamwa with a path, he was fouled. Jordan Wright got there and grabbed him.
That was all predicated on Julian Phillips. You see him, he sprints down to the corner, flattens out the defense. Kamwa sprints, great advance pass right there by Zakai. And they get there before the defense sets up.
He's got 14.
Ooh.
Short on the mid-range, stays with Tennessee.
That was a great step back.
He's 6 of 12 from the floor, 2 of 4 from deep, a couple of rebounds. Out of Salina, Tennessee. A spin by Ziegler. Phillips with the bounce.
So that was 3 hard drives to the paint. Ziegler to Kamwa, and then to Phillips. That's what Tennessee's going to try to do in this half, is take back that paint.
Commodores have missed their last 6. Thomas against Ziegler. Outside to right. And Ziegler pops it right back to Robbins. He wanted a foul, no whistle. Against Adu. Shoulder down. Goaltending, count the bucket. Doug Shows with a call. And the under 8 media timeout arrives.
Good job by Liam Robbins being strong here. Spin off that right. It's a lot of action going down. It's going to be a physical game. Liam Robbins is ready for it, though.
Don't forget Friday, our gymnastics doubleheader starts with number 14, Mizzou, taking on Trinity Thomas and second-ranked Florida down in Gainesville. That's up first at 7 Eastern. Then a top 10 showdown. LSU and Auburn, 8:30 Eastern. We call it Friday Night Heights. With good reason. Every week right here, the SEC Network. Also on the ESPN app. With Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott, Jerry Stackhouse back to the drawing board. His team trails number 6 Tennessee by just 1 point. And don't forget, it was Coach Stack this week. Our conversations this morning to the Nashville media as well. Got a chance for a signature win against Rick Barnes' team. And remember, too, when Tennessee's been ranked in the top 10 coming into this building, things have not gone well. 1-4 all time. But that one dub coming the last time that Tennessee played here as a top 10 team, number 1 in the country, in fact, back in 2019.
Oh, I remember back in the last century, the latter part of the last century, coming into Memorial Gymnasium. It's not an easy place to win. First of all, just how the court is. You got to get used to that.
Commodores back in the zone.
Yep, another zone action here.
Kamwa against Wright, and Wright with a steal. 12 lead changes, 6 ties already tonight in this one. Got LSU and Mississippi State as soon as we're done in Nashville. You got Florida and Alabama over on ESPN2 coming up at 9 Eastern. Right inside was open. Off his fingertips. It stays with the Commodores.
Jordan Wright, great hands. Taking away that baseline. Just reading that move perfectly by Kamwa.
Off the inbounds, right to Robbins, the spin. Outstanding defense by Awaka.
He's played some great minutes. Awaka has his physicality. He matched Liam Robbins in the paint, scoring defensively.
Robbins coming off another double-double against Ole Miss, plus 7 blocks. Ziegler sky high with a mid-range. Kamwa clears. Under 7 to play. Sakai against the 7-footer. Found himself open, but short the floater.
Well, as this game continues to get tighter at the end, you know it's going to come down to free throws, layups,
and three-point shooting. Jordan Wright from downtown.
He has taken over this second half with big shots.
Kamwa with position. Robbins stuck in to reject it. Vanderbilt with momentum. Here's Lawrence. Wright wants it. You can feel it. Pops out to Lewis. And a foul called on Key.
Jordan Wright. Boy, did I call it. I told you it was going to come down to Jordan Wright knocking down from the three-point line. No, just kidding there.
He's got 10 after that make.
But right there, just a good move, under control. Decides not to take that screen. Gives him a little bit of space. And Liam Robbins now allowed to play a lot more aggressive. Had an early 3 fouls. Coach Stackhouse takes him out. Says now you go back in and play that kind of physical game like you want to.
Jordan Wright scoreless at halftime, coming out of concussion protocol. All 10 of his points in the second half. The senior from Baton Rouge coming up clutch. Robbins was fouled. Free throws for 21 in White.
That was just a simple play of one-on-one. I will not be denied. Teammates give him room to work. Josiah Jordan-James, once Liam Robbins turns his back, now he knows I'm going to go double hard. No hedging on that, double hard on Liam Robbins.
First free throws of the night, 76% on the season. It's a third foul on Awaka. Liam Robbins, if you're just tuning in, made 3 threes in the first half.
To start the game.
Had maybe the dunk of the year for Vanderbilt as well. 1 of 2 at the stripe. Awaka clears. Commodores by 3 under 6 to go.
Zone again by Vandy. Protecting Liam Robbins also from having one-on-one with Awaka.
Boy, Ziegler almost cut right out of his shoes. Vescovy open for a moment. No. Robbins the rebound. Tennessee has won 11 straight against Vanderbilt. It's tied for the longest streak in the series. And over 200 meetings all time. Last win coming way back in 2017. I don't even remember that.
And Vandy is working Tennessee's defense, just making a move, finding an opening.
Phillips a rebound. Against Robbins. Waka no. Robbins yes. 6-0 run for Vanderbilt. And a chance to add to that on this possession. Robbins a rebound away from a double-double. 14 and 9, and Lawrence just dribbled that one out of bounds. Stackhouse can't believe it, and coach offers some encouragement.
Yeah, might have been bothered by the length of Phillips right there. You see the patience of Vanderbilt's offense. Early in the second half, they were coming downhill fast in transition. Now trying to slow that game down.
Ball struggling on offense the last 5 minutes. Vescovy will try to change it, and he does.
Great
tied
pass.
at 58.
Great job of Waka catching it right in that free throw line. Area in the zone. Quick pass. Vescovy exactly where he needs to be for the catch and shoot 3.
Right open. Right finishes at the rack. Give him 12. Ahead to Key. And the putback. Vescovy came in flying. Jordan Wright on the other end. And the action fast and furious tonight in Music City.
It's coming in bunches. It's coming in runs.
And a brief hiatus under the rim. We got 3:16 to go. We are tied at 60. Come back with us here in Nashville.
Night of Hoops continues. 30 minutes till tip-off in T-Town over on ESPN2. What about this young man?
What about this young man? Not only is he leading all Division I freshmen in scoring points per game, he's also leading in three-pointers made and field goals in the SEC.
He is a baller. So is Tolu Smith taking on KJ Williams in that game. Looking forward to a spirited finish out there in Nashville.
Peter Burns, Patrick Young, we are as well. Brandon Miller, yeah, he can get it done in a number of different ways. Our game recap tells you what's happening. We're tied at 60. 13 lead changes, 8 ties. All kinds of big performances tonight for both sides.
Well, in the first half, Tyron Lawrence was solid, knocking down the 3, penetration, coming down with that left hand, hard drives. And then in the second half, Coach Stackhouse said, let me try to get Jordan Wright going. Drew up a few plays for him, got his confidence going, and that's what they needed to keep up with Tennessee. And I think Zakai Ziegler's got 3 fouls. He sat for a good portion of this second half. He needed to come back in. His quickness to match up with Magnon and Lawrence, they need that. Tennessee needs that, and I think that's going to be key for Tennessee down the stretch, is keep making sure Ziegler stays on the floor.
You saw the numbers. Vanderbilt shooting about 11% higher against Tennessee than its season average. Pump fake by Key. Tennessee defensively clamping down on teams at a rate we haven't seen since Stanford 25 years ago. Ziegler off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Awaka. Robbins the block. Out to Magnon.
You may be able to shoot one over Liam Robbins once, twice, but give him enough opportunities, he's going to time that.
Seven blocks against Ole Miss, just 2 tonight. Lawrence. Waka clears.
And you see Tyree Key, good job in that hard left-handed drive by Lawrence. Knowing he wants to go to that left hand, beating him to the spot, forcing him into a tough 2.
Falls just 2 for their last 10. Waka inside. Robbins defending again.
Tennessee is making sure Liam Robbins is having to defend every play down the floor.
Colin Smith was fouled. 3 free throws coming for number 1 in white. Well, Waka would love to have that one back. That is his 4th.
At times when a big fella's forced to defend on the perimeter, that's just a natural instinct. If you're not accustomed to defending the three-point shot as a big fella, you're going to run out and try to put a hand, try to block it. No, you don't do that. You can't do that.
You're talking about fouls on three-point shots. I seem to remember one that could have went down Saturday that didn't. This one gets whistled.
Remember I said free throws? When this game gets tighter, the possessions are going to get longer. Both teams are going to try to work their offense. And the ability of Vandy, the last couple possessions, to defend the paint.
Kamwa in. Waka checks out. Smith 63% at the line, and Coach Barnes instructing his freshman from New York. The lead is 3. 2 minutes to go. Ziegler blocked. Kamwa gets it back. Vescovi for the tie. Yes!
When you have smart players like Vescovi, broken plays could be your best plays.
Magnon's got to go. Memorial Gym is rocking. Jordan Wright fell down. Shot it from the floor. Ziegler has it finally. 1 minute to go. Jordan Wright shot it while sitting down.
I think he was worried about the shot clock and then thought maybe he would be able to get a call right there. Great job by Kamwa meeting him at that free throw line area, not allowing him to turn the corner. Tried to give him a hesitation actually and just fell. Probably thought he'd be able to get a call. Maybe get lucky with the official thinking a Tennessee player reaches in on that.
Plenty of timeouts for both sides. In a game that has been well played, we haven't seen many free throws. We haven't seen many fouls called up to this point.
Been a great balance of the officials allowing them to play, but also making sure that when a guy does go up and earn a trip to the free throw line, they get it.
Fouls to give on both sides. Under a minute to play, Memorial Gymnasium. Vols have won 11 straight in this series. Mid-range is there for Olivier Kamwa. Tennessee back in front.
This is what Kamwa gives you, different from Awaka. Instead of that high ball screen with the roll, posting up Liam Robbins, you do it with Olivier Kamwa. He can pick and pop. And he's been knocking down that shot all season long.
10 points, 5 boards. Pressure shifts back to Vanderbilt.
Coach Rick Barnes says to his point guard, Zakai Ziegler, hey, I'm going to give you the ball and make something happen. That's what's so valuable about having a high IQ, under control point guard in late game situations.
You have to think Jordan Wright gets a touch here on this possession, right?
Well, you got Liam Robbins and Jordan Wright, and you got a hard driving Tyron Lawrence that's had a heck of a game.
Big man gets his touch. Liam Robbins. The turnaround. No. Magnon can save it. Lawrence lost it. Ziegler has it. Vanderbilt has to foul, and it does. And just the third team foul called on the Commodores here in the second half.
Kamwa does a good job of forcing Robbins into a fadeaway. And then it's an all-out scramble for the basketball. That was just, if you're a Vanderbilt fan, that's just bad luck with that ball just falling off of the hands of Lawrence.
Josiah Jordan James turned that ankle coming down, it looked like.
Yeah, and that's just a tough pass to handle.
Now, James, you remember, missed 8 games with a knee soreness. And the senior has been so instrumental, and arguably, Patrick Young asked us about glue guys in the SEC. He certainly falls into that category, as Rick Barnes will talk things over with his team.
And he has been battling injuries for a couple of seasons. And he was getting to the point where he's healthy. He's a versatile defender, can shoot the three, willing passer, can act as a facilitator on the offensive end.
Well, Vanderbilt in a position to foul, but nowhere close to the bonus. And with just 17 seconds left, you got to find a way to foul a bunch of times in a short period and hope by the time Tennessee gets to the free throw line that at least one free throw is missed. So that's what we're looking at in the final 17.2.
Yeah, so I'm sure Coach Stackhouse is going through that right now, letting them know that we cannot let, even that, there was about 3 seconds where Coach Stackhouse was telling them, foul, we get a foul.
The stoppage in play, too, is being indicated to us that that was for James and the injury. So at this point, Vanderbilt with just 2 team fouls, they've got to get to 7 or get a steal.
Well, I was going to say the amount of time that Tennessee has to get the ball in bounds is going to have to get guys open. And Vanderbilt is going to be swiping at it. So you got to protect it if you're Tennessee. This is going to be not as easy as you think for Tennessee to continue to get the basketball in bounds. Fortunately, you get a quick Zakai Ziegler.
Lawrence has to foul in a hurry, and he does. That's just the 3rd team foul. Four more to put Tennessee in the bonus.
Well, fortunately for Tennessee, they're able to take the ball out right there on the sideline. You got plenty of room to work. Anything closer to that baseline, though, get a little nerve-wracking trying to throw it in.
And a timeout called by Tennessee. We'll step aside as well. The lead is 2. The number 6 ranked Vols. In Nashville, Tennessee, sixth in the country, trying to win its 12th straight over Vanderbilt. 65-63, Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott. Jordan Wright has kept the Commodores in it. Vanderbilt in a position where they need to foul 4 times to put Tennessee at the stripe with 15 seconds to go.
So here's where the unique part of this gym comes into play, because you have the benches under the baskets. Tennessee is almost as far away from their bench and their coach's voice as you can get. And the further they go towards that baseline of where Vandy is, so you continue to throw it in the backcourt, you're getting closer and closer to Vandy's bench and farther from the voice of your coach, Rick Barnes, which does come into play. And it's going to be a more difficult to keep passing it in the closer you get to that corner.
Did Rick Barnes just throw up a touchdown pass?
Touchdown pass. Let's see if they do it.
Phillips was open for a moment. Ziegler has it. Quickly fouled.
So now we get a little bit closer to that corner. However, it leaves the front court open for that touchdown pass, if you will.
Josh Heupel certainly encouraged by that commentary.
Right there, he's got
Phillips open, wide open. And a smart play, no foul, time continues to tick. Stays with Tennessee.
I think
you think he dunk it?
I think he dunked that.
Couple of more seconds ticked off the clock. Smith finally got him after Wright did not.
But
it's interesting.
Right. I just think it's, anytime you try to throw the ball in bounds, it's a hairy situation, man.
Ziegler has it. Fouled quickly. 8.5 to go. And now the next foul will force the 1-and-1.
Because you look at it, what would you rather? Go to the free throw line, and I think Coach Barnes is talking to Julian Phillips about it now. Would you rather go to the free throw line with 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it ends up being? However, okay, Zakai's, they got to throw it in one more time. Or would you rather have that 2, you're up 4.
Right.
Now you're in a situation where it's the gimme 2.
Jerry Stackhouse calls a timeout.
And I'm telling you, getting the ball in bounds, people think I just get it in bounds.
It's not easy.
It's not that easy, man. You got to have guys that are crisp and getting open, understand how to V-cut, and then, you know, if you're the guy throwing it in, you got to worry not only about having it tipped as you throw it in, but what kind of a pass you make, if it's too slow, a bounce pass over the top. Tyreek Key, give him credit, man. He's done a good job of getting it to the right guy each time.
Key himself a 72% free throw shooter. He's been the big-time difference maker off of Rick Barnes' bench tonight with those 14 points. Vescovy also with 14. And if you want to talk about the top free throw shooters,
that's pretty good.
Not bad with that list.
Although actually Ziegler, Ziegler, Phillips, Vescovy, I'd like to see him get up in the mid-80s, the kind of shooter he is. But we know who Tennessee wants to have it in the hands of. Zakai, Ziegler, and Vescovy.
Vescovy was bumped. Gotta go. And a 5-second call. Was it? Or did Doug Shouse give Tennessee the timeout?
Right.
Well, for a second, I thought he showed the 5 fingers, and that's what we were doing. Tennessee gets awarded the timeout. That was close.
Right. So you see now you go back to end-of-game situations. Taking the ball out on the sideline for Tennessee. You got the entire floor. You get to the baseline, as close to the baseline. You're just cutting off a lot of opportunities there. Liam Robbins does a good job of leaning towards and getting a big paw in the way of not allowing Key to get it to Ziegler.
Key thought for a minute he was whistled for a 5-second call, too. He pointed over towards the bench, and the correct call was made. Well, some tense moments here at the very bitter end tonight.
Well, like most games, close games, comes down to decision-making and free throws. High percentage shots, can you get them, can you stop them? This right here is just old school, can you get open? V-cut, set a screen.
Vescovi trying his best, gets the bounce pass, fouled from behind. And Santiago Vescovi, 79% at the line, getting set to shoot Tennessee's first free throws of the second half.
Well, that was just Vescovi being creative of how to get open. Just using the hips, sailing off his defender, and then protecting the ball to be able to catch it so Lawrence couldn't reach around him.
Only 2 free throws in this game for the Vols. First ones of the night for Santiago Vescovi. No! Lawrence has it! Time winding down. And a timeout called by Jerry Stackhouse. 4 seconds to go.
You felt it was going to come down to one possession either way. And yes, it has come down to it. These close games we know will come down to.
Terry Oglesby informs us they're going to double check the time. They'll head over to the scorer's table and verify that 4 seconds should be remaining, if not maybe a tick or 2 more.
Right, and Vanderbilt, Magnon is a hard driving guard. You can put the ball in his hands, come off a high ball screen. Tyron Lawrence the same. About 4.5, 4.4.
Let me ask you this. Playing at home, do you go for the tie? Do you go for the 3 and the dub at the Horn?
If you can get the right guy shooting the 3, go ahead. Now, I think they have guys that are fast enough, like Mignon and Lawrence, that can get to that have been able to come downhill to get to the rim and score it. But now, 4 seconds. The way Tennessee defends, 4.8. You may not be able to get a good look all the way to the hoop. You think you can, but like Tennessee's defense is the best out there. So they've done a good job. And this is going to be their most motivated defensive stance to keep you out of the lane and challenge that 3-point shot.
4.8 to go. Robbins has it. Here comes Mignon with a path. Outside to Lawrence for the win. Yes! He got it! He got it! Vanderbilt wins it! Doug Shows will go to verify there was time remaining when the shot left Tyron Lawrence's hand. Pandemonium and Music City in the meantime. The basket is good, and Vanderbilt does it. An upset in Nashville.
Some great action here. He had 3 guys touch it. Liam Robbins, Magnon had the opportunity of which side to come off in that ball screen. Just enough time to get in the paint. Look at that pass as he's off balance to get it to And the thing about Tyron Lawrence, in the first half, we saw him catch and shoot, no hesitation. Wow, that just perfectly executed the spacing by Vanderbilt. And I think the play, of course, the shot by Tyron Lawrence is going to be talked about for a long, long time. But the decision by Magnon to jab step one way and then take The handoff by Liam Robbins the other way to create a driving lane for the pass. Just brilliant.
The 11-game losing streak to in-state rival Tennessee is over. Number 6 goes down, 66-65 the final. Let's send you back to the studio. How you doing, Peter Burns?
I'm trying to